Eni Aluko versus Ian Wright.
Oh.
So Eni was out here, and I think a while ago we did have Eni in the bin. I can't remember what she did.
Sounds like us.
But I think we gave her Enemy of Progress for something. But she was out here talking about women's football and that the punditry of it all is still got men doing it and they're not allowing women in.
She specifically said.
And she spoke about Ian Wright, that this is, there's like gatekeepering afoot. And she mentioned Ian Wright, yeah. Then in the backlash of it all, she issued an apology and was like, you know what, I spoke out of turn. What I really was talking about was that there should just be more space for women to talk about women's football and to be the pundits of it. And I shouldn't have come for Ian Wright. Sorry, my bad. Ian Wright came back and was like, I'm not accepting your apology.
I have to talk about this week and what's gone on. I don't want to endlessly be asked about it. I've got to say I'm very disappointed by what Eni has said. She knows how I've helped her, supported her publicly. And I know the previous conversations she's had with me and my management. So for me, I've seen the apology on social media, but I can't accept it. But I also want to move on from it. For anyone watching this, I really don't need any further social commentary directed at anyone on this. But the thing about where the women's game is that it can't be about individuals like me. It has to be about the collective. And because of the past, we know the men blocked the women's game for 50 years. Because of the past, and the game has serious systemic challenges, and it's going to take, I should say, everyone to help fix it. So for me, I'll always give back to the game. It's given me so much.
Should Ian Wright accept her apology just because she apologized? Or is Eni in the bin for even mentioning Ian Wright, although he's helped her?
And she's also now stepped down. She's had to leave her job, her presenting job, because of the backlash.
That's a shame.
That's just happened. I don't think he doesn't have to forgive her if he doesn't want to. I just think as an uncle, he shouldn't have brought it to the streets. He could have just, he didn't have.
Oh, you think he didn't need to do the video?
I don't think he needed to do the video because I think she's out of, there's a few things. When you're talking, when we're podding or doing something, sometimes you speak and you draw for what comes to your mind, and there's not always the time to rectify it. So maybe she just drew on Ian's name. Maybe she drew on Ian's name as a quick name that she knew and didn't necessarily really mean to throw him under the bus. It could be that.
Okay.
Also, the man's helped you. Why are you mentioning his name? So there's all of those things that she made a mistake. I definitely think she made a mistake in naming him, especially if it's absolutely true that he supported her in her career and has had her back. Don't name drop me like that. You made a faux pas. You came back and apologised. I hope that behind the scenes you apologised to him as well, directly, because you know him. But for him to come, I think he could say, I don't want to talk about it. Me and Eni are dealing with it behind the scenes. I'm not happy, but we'll talk about it behind the scenes. I think as an uncle, he could have done that because she is getting, I think, unnecessary backlash about this. I don't think it's that deep, and she definitely doesn't need to lose her job. She didn't say bun men and fuck Ian. She didn't do all of that. She just said there are men like Ian Wright taking up space.
Did she step down or did they sack her?
I think she stepped up. I think it says she has to, let me check, but
because I didn't know that she had stepped down. I definitely believe that is quite harsh.
It's unnecessary
for what her comments were. Yeah. I could be personally offended if I know I've helped your career.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think you may be right. But I thought he was okay in saying, I'm not accepting it. But if she's lost her job,
she's quit. It says she's quit amongst the controversy. And I think some headlines are saying traumatized. Maybe that's her quote. I haven't opened up anything. So maybe it was too much she couldn't take and she wants to step away from the public eye.
Okay.
Because it might be a lot. She might not be able to deal
with
it.
Well, my thoughts are that women's football has been overlooked for decades.
Yeah.
And since the women won the Euros, people are starting to know about it a bit more. When I listen to the radio every day, when they talk about football, they mention the men's games and they mention the women's games. That was not happening before.
Yeah.
I think it's important for everybody to highlight the brilliance of the game in the women's game, the women's league, all of that stuff. I think it's important. And I think if we're talking about gatekeeping, it shouldn't be gatekept by women, because there are women pundits who talk about the men's leagues. And I think for someone like Ian Wright, who is so iconic in the world of football and knowledgeable and just, an all-round, people love him, right, in terms of his knowledge and what he achieved as a footballer, because he makes a point to talk about football, women's football, and is passionate and it isn't performative. He takes his granddaughter to football. He shows images about that. He is a champion for the women's game and encourages people to watch and to go to these matches. So I think people like that are needed so that the game is seen and taken seriously. So for to come for somebody like that and make those statements, it could have been throwaway. It could have just been the first name on the tip of your tongue. Maybe your statement, you should have said that. Yeah. Right? And especially if this is a man that has helped you and highlighted all the things that are achieved, I think that's wrong. In terms of him going online and saying that he doesn't accept her apology, at the end of the day, she took it to socials. She said what she said.
She didn't take it to socials. She said it.
Where did she say it?
Said it on a live in an interview.
So she said it.
She said it publicly.
She said it publicly.
Yeah.
So I think he is entitled to respond publicly. I understand what you're saying about the uncle of it all and all of that kind of stuff. But if you're hurt by something, especially if you are a champion, why should you just sit down and be like, I'm going to be the big person for this?
Yeah.
I think
because he is the bigger person,
but he's the icon that has been championing this thing. Why should he just be quiet about it?
I don't think it's quiet.
Because then maybe if he's quiet about it, people might assume that he's like, there's a point. There's not a point.
No, I think he can make, do you know what? I'm not sure, but I just felt I felt bad for her, that I felt bad. So it's not a question. I think he has the right. I mean, he has the right to speak up. Yeah. He has the right to say what he has the right to do what he wants, and if he doesn't want to accept it. But I just felt funny with him saying, I don't accept that apology, because yes, she made a mistake, but I think it's elderman status. I think if someone came and I'm older, I think I might be like, I don't like what she said. She apologised. We'll deal with it off scene. And you can go on to say everything else that he said.
Yeah.
I suppose
everything else that he said about it
but at the same time, I feel like he's entitled to bring it out publicly.
Yeah, that part
she did. I think that it is wrong if she's had to step down or has felt like she's been forced to step down, because she knows what she's talking about. And there needs to be more people like that. And then now look what's going to happen. There's going to be less women out there doing what they should be doing. So I don't like the idea of that. She's also entitled to her opinion. But I think because of the relationship with Ian Wright and because of the fact that he is someone that talks about it, like, I don't see many ex-professional footballers of his stature championing the women's game as much as he does.
And I think
I just don't see it.
Everything is that is right. I think that's all good.
I'm thinking about it holistically, and for the black community, I hate this optics-wise.
Yeah.
Was why I was like, I think we got to touch on it. And I think I agree. I would have these are the things where it's like, I would like the in-houseness of it all.
Yeah.
That, yes, he was disrespected publicly, but I would really have liked a moment for, in his stature as an elder, to be like, I'm not going to allow you to become fodder for the racists.
Exactly.
And then he keeps it in-house, and me and you you're going to hear my wrath on what you did, but I'm not going to leave you for the wolves. And I feel like that's what he did. And I think that's where you need to, that's where we need to reestablish the lines of the elders to the youngers. And what we do in our community is we keep it so that you are safe. I think what he's done is actually out of order to have left her, to say, I'm not accepting your apology. You could believe that.
Yeah.
But to say it publicly, that does give license to people to be in her mentions and quoting her off every day. And I think as an elder, he should have been like, I'm never going to allow that to happen to a young black woman in the UK, not under my watch. I needed Ian Wright to take that on.
And I think that's what, because even she made the mistake, it was wrong for you, and she apologized quickly as well. And I'm not saying, because also as we said, we might put her in the bin. I can't remember what we put her in the bin for. I don't want to say, because I might be.
Like it was something.
It
with
was
the
something.
Tories. It was
something a little bit like yeah. But anyway, so she might even be just a dodgy person. We don't know. I don't know her personally. I don't know her morals or ethics or anything like that. So this might be form for her. Like we're talking about friendship. She might be a bit woo way, and he's like,
he may know more. Yeah,
he may know more, but. Going based on the turn of events, it's like made a mistake, apologized, and I just
okay. But then you know what I have to say about that. I hear you. I understand possibly, but with the same respect that we're expecting from Ian as an elder, she should have had that respect.
Yeah.
She should have
for her
she
elder,
should've.
because you could have thrown a white man under the bus.
Yeah.
You
there
could have done
was
that.
no reason to say his name. Definitely.
Yeah, she made it. Yeah,
you don't need to. But I guess the thing is, it's in the stature, in it. Like, she isn't as prominent as him. But for him to be like, I'm not accepting it, the ramifications are much more.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Her talking on it. And I think it's that, yes, she definitely needed to have a swift reprimand, but he didn't need to do it that way. That was quite harsh.
And I
don't like that she doesn't have a position.
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
Yeah,
'cause I think
that's
that's really bad.
And I don't know how old she is. We're not trying to infantilize her. Either you're a grown-ass woman, do better. But at the same
she ain't
time,
that young.
It's that you're not that young. You should have really, I don't know what mistake, but it is something in that felt a little bit basic, petty. Like, you're not a little man. You're a big man, and you're a big man in you're OG, you're Oga. So it's a bit like, you didn't need to do that, because also, because I think even there were 3 lionesses like of the women's football team that were like, we stand with Ian, we don't stand with Eni. And then it's just so easy, not to make about race, but to make about race. It's so easy to shit on a black woman. Like, it's so easy. And
but you know what? I fucking also hate when we don't call this shit out. I actually can't stand when we just protect people who have done wrong. Like, I feel like if someone has done something wrong, we need to speak on it.
Yeah.
Because then what does she then turn out to be? A fucking Kemi? Is that where it goes?
No, I agree that she gets called out.
If it's because Kemi started from somewhere,
Yeah.
If it's, and I'm not saying she is a Kemi, but I'm saying it does start from somewhere. So if we don't call out people when they've done fuckeries, or made mistakes, if we don't do that, where is it going to end?
No,
we need to be held accountable for what we do as well. How can people take us seriously if we're doing don't say this in public? Like,
the only thing I wish he didn't say was, I don't forgive her. Everything else he said was on point. He could have even said, no, she's damn out of order. Take the piss.
Okay, fair enough.
But it's just because the not forgiver means that stamp of approval for go out, because even King Ian doesn't have it. He's not forgiving. That's a big thing to say, because generally forgiveness is a big thing in her. Like, it's a big thing. We take it seriously. Wherever you're from, like, forgiveness is another level.
Yeah, but so maybe when he's saying that, forgive her.
No, I get it. It's not. The world doesn't have to know that. I think.
But then what we're doing is expecting him not to be in his feelings and to have any emotion about this relationship that he's built with this person, and she has publicly shat on him. So maybe, like, why should we expect him not to be in his? I saw his post, and he looked quite emotional about it. It's not like he was sitting there being like, bun her.
No, he didn't.
He wasn't doing that. So I feel like the expectation for men to just man up and be quiet and not say anything.
I didn't say man up.
But I'm just, I'm saying that. I'm saying that. I didn't say you did. I am saying that. The expectation for him not to be able to show his feelings, I think we need to remove that shit. He's in his feelings about it because of everything that he feels like he's done for her and the game.
Fair.
I still think he is an elder, and it's what comes along with being an elder is that sometimes the youngers are going to shit on you. And in your position of being an authority, you have to then be like, I'm not allowing you to take the piss out of me, but you don't send the wolves after this girl.
Yeah.
Because she did apologise.
I think that's fair.
That's effective parenting.
That's what I'm saying.
Your kids do shit, innit? Like, and people do horrible ththings. You're a mentor. People do things that you're going to be like, but I really helped you. I just think you fed her to the wolves.
It's a little bit of that. It's
a bit hard.
I don't think it's not shutting up. It's not like doing anything. It's not, because men, yes, show your emotions, but there's an element, because the minute you set up a camera to speak to camera, and afterwards at the end he did say, and I don't want it to be, sorry Ian, sorry, we are talking about it. He said, I don't want any more conversation about this. It's done. I'm done. but you still set up the camera. We say it. People that set up the camera to then talk. There's an element of premeditation in it. There is.
He could have been in his car, in his feelings. Like this is.
I get it.
I think we're taken away from his feelings.
I'm not.
I think there was an element of taking away from his feelings and saying he set up a camera. He's on his phone in the car. It's not like he came to a fucking studio.
No,
and
but
said he could have been. It was blowing up online. Yeah? Everyone was talking about it. Everywhere he's going, he's probably hearing the noise, and he just thought, you know what? I'm just going to come out and say something. It's not like he was reading from a script, like you said.
He was saying his piece.
Just talking, like you said. Sometimes when you're in this environment, you might say stuff that you might not necessarily, given some thought, if it was written down, you may not have said that. Yeah. So maybe the comment about I don't forgive her, I agree with you. That is a bit harsh. But if he felt like that in the moment, I think that he was entitled to say that. What he could have then said is, please don't come for her. It's over, it's done.
That's all I'm saying.
Fair enough.
Find a way
but I don't think that we
Yeah.
should have expected him to just stay quiet.
No, I never. But that's not what
You did. You said that he shouldn't have said anything.
No,
the first
about
thing is that he took it online.
No, I'm
So
not.
that he took it publicly.
No, I'm talking about the forgive bit. The only part I'm that's what I keep saying.
You did say that as well.
No, the only part I'm have an issue with is the forgive bit.
Okay.
Everything else, I've said it multiple times. He has every right to say what he said, and he could have cussed her. He could have told her off. I've literally said that. The only thing I thought was a bit much was that I don't forgive, because saying that you don't forgive to the world, it's like then because when are you going to come back and say I've forgiven her? So it's left
Possibly.
Do you know what I mean? He might do, but he has like when is he going to come back and say I actually forgiven her and actually do you know? Or
Possibly they may appear on something together.
maybe, but that's what I'm saying. There's time that would be
nice
an ideal
if
thing.
there was a moment of, okay, guys, I may have been a bit harsh, and especially now, I just think she doesn't deserve all of this, and she's been going through it as well. Like she has other. Isn't she suing a newspaper or something?
Yes.
Yeah, she's suing. Like she's
going through some stuff.
She's in the mire, and it just felt like this is another thing. I mean, sometimes though, you know, if any wanted to come on and discuss it further, like I would want to hear her story. Yeah, because I do think in everything, it's like it's public. You're going through something, and sometimes that everything comes at once, innit?
Yeah,
like you know, all of the floodgates come out, and you don't know how you're gonna rise out of the ashes from it. Sometimes the universe does that. I would like to hear her story on this because it is a lot.
Absolutely.
And he just kind of added more onto it. But I also understand if you're flipping minding your own business, doing your thing, and you're hearing like, oh, you're a gatekeeper. I also get
that's a strong word.
That's the clip
They are
clearly in this current time. I'm not against him coming out and saying fuck all. It was just the forgive that niggled me, and I was a bit like
it did just feel like he just kind of threw her out there. But I do want to hear all of the bits.
And even from him
to her as well.
I wouldn't mind hearing from him like, what if like actually why wouldn't you forgive her? Because also it's a big thing when someone's
because if they have a relationship,
and
if they truly have a relationship and he's truly helped her, and because of what he does for the game, that could be very hurtful.
But that's what I'm saying.
We were talking about before about on the extra show. I can't say that. Sorry. We've spoken about before when you think that you mean something to somebody in like in a work environment, and then you realize that you don't mean something. It's an emotional thing. Yeah. So I truly believe
he was right not
when
to go
he
to
made
the wedding.
No. Again, you shouldn't say that because it's not correlated to anyway, whatever. I think that he was right. He wasn't not right. He's entitled to express his opinion.
Yes.
I also think that she was entitled to express her opinion, but the fact that she came back and said, actually, no, not him. Because I get what she means. I get what she means.
Who knows? Again, this is exploration. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. This is exploration. We don't know if she's like, yes, he has helped me, but then it's like one day he just sent her an email and said, look, there's a job going, go for that. And that's the extent of the help. The love of the game that he's talking about, that's all good. Mm-hmm. What is the nature of how he helped her? Because also
that's kind of what I would like to hear.
Yeah, from both sides.
Yeah,
actually.
like what the thing is, because I'm presuming like he really helped.
Yeah, I'm presuming. I never doubted that.
I mean,
I'm not doubting that.
Who knows which way it went around? But I would really like to hear her story a bit more, because every time we hear of her, it does seem to be like she's either fighting somebody in something, or something is happening.
Could be her. And also,
And it's like, what's going on?
I mean, I've always claimed Ian as my brother because he's a Scorpio like me, so he's emotional. He is emotional.
There you go.
And he's like, yeah, but everything but the forgive. Because if Ian Wright said he didn't forgive me, I'd be hurt.
Yeah.
And when someone said, if we argued and you're like, I don't forgive you.
Yeah, it's
burn.
It's
It's
a
a
big
burn.
thing. It's a
Of course
big
it does,
thing.
but
It's
if
a
that's
deep
how you
burn.
fucking feel at the
Yeah.
time, there are things that are unforgivable. To
But
you,
that's
there's
what I'm
levels
kind of
to you.
wondering.
There's levels to you.
And that's why I'm saying, because actually, maybe what she said to me is not unforgivable, but behind the scenes, if he's
Maybe,
literally paid for her whole training to be a presenter.
Even if he hasn't paid for her whole training to be a presenter, because of, I'll say it again, because of what he does for the benefit of the game, I can understand if someone's hurt by that.
Yeah.
For your name to be slung into that group when it's not you, when there's other
what if-
people.
When you've been trying to be.
But
Right, I
what
get
if, and this is a scenario, I'm not saying that he's done this. What if you're talking about the game, you're upselling the game, you're putting women's football on the map, but there was a job going and you're like, I'm going for that. And you know that actually a woman could have gone for that.
I
Do we
don't.
know?
Again, I'll go back to my original statement. I don't think that we should be saying in this.
I'm not. Okay, let me finish. Okay, let me finish then before you add that. No,
But you phrased the question.
No, before you finish, just so I can add on before you say that I'm definitely not saying that men shouldn't do that role. That's all. Go on.
But then, what's the point of your question then? Because what's the point?
Because
If
I'm
you're
saying that maybe-
if
what if it was-
if you are saying
Okay.
that men shouldn't go for that role, why should he not go for that role then? If you're saying there's a job going and she could have gone for it, or a woman could have gone for it, but he's gone for it, you are saying that he should have gone for the role.
Okay, maybe there's been opportunities and he's taken those roles. I'm not saying men shouldn't, but if there's like, do you know what? Yeah, maybe it's like, if there's a thing where.
No, because my answer to that is no, because I also believe if you are good at your job and you're knowledgeable, anybody should be able to do that. There are amazing women pundits, football pundits, and they should not be told that because, in fact, they are fucking told all the time, what do you know about football?
Yeah, absolutely.
They're told that all the time, and it's wrong because these are people who are either professionals, ex-professionals in the game, or have crafted and learned and love the game and are knowledgeable about it, and they have as much to say as a man. I believe the same for women's football. If a man is passionate about it and he knows what he's chatting about, he should be given the same opportunities. Whoever is best for the role should get the role.
But this is why we get into DEI, affirmative action. When you feel like when there's a lack of representation of a certain gender,
Let's be honest as
or
well.
race
Let's be honest as well. Yeah, the other thing that I talked about is Ian Wright's stature. If you want to get more people watching this thing, it is important for people who are known as icons in the game
I agree.
to talk about it.
I'm just asking. 'Cause I
Previously,
don't know about.
these people weren't talking about this game, and then the people like women's football, the numbers of people that were going to watch the game, the channels that it was available to watch on was so limited. It was limited.
Because I don't watch I don't watch sport TV at all. So I don't know. I have seen an increase in women pundits. I've definitely seen an increase. All I'm just wondering is if there a sufficient amount of women talking about women's football. I'm not saying that men who love football can't talk about women's football. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that if there's like, okay, let's go for Ian and let's go for Ian and let's go for Ian in this space, and there's a bunch of women that, you're good and you know and you're da-da-da-da, but you're not getting a chance to be in this space because Ian, is that happening? I don't know.
It doesn't even matter if it is.
Does it not?
Because it's still an emerging market. I think sometimes you have to really think of the marketing of it all. The fact that he could be doing punditry for anything. And if he is like, I'm going to lend my credibility and support to women's football because I see that it needs eyes on it and I'm prepared to do that, what's the problem? Because there are, and sometimes it's like you kind of got to do that for a period of time. It doesn't have to be forever, but for a period of time to get people being involved in the game, to want to even watch it, to have eyes on it, you do need leaders.
Yeah,
I understand
To be
that.
a part of it.
well.
You can't, it shouldn't
the
just be, I'm not going to take that job and I'm going to have Eni do it because Eni wants to be a pundit. Who's watching Eni?
No, I know.
It's that. It's like actually sometimes.
I'm just asking about the numbers. I'm asking about the numbers.
The other thing as well to remember is that there is an element of bringing shedding light on something that isn't being shed light on, breaking from the norm of what people's expectations are about the game. And Ian Wright has also benefited from that himself, because he came into the professional world at a much later age than most footballers, right? So he is showing that you don't have to fit inside of this box. There is beauty in the variation of the people that play this beautiful sport. I'm going to chat about it for everybody. So
no, I get that. But also Eni's making a point. So I'm not. And
she's making a point, but it's not the person that she used to make the point about.
Because she made a point. There's a reason why she said Ian's name. We don't know. Like that's what we said. We want to speak to her. She apologized. He said, "How dare you? I helped you." But she's making a point, taking it away from Ian.
I mean, you didn't say how dare you.
I mean, just on the whole.
She's actually saying
on
something
the thing
as well.
of like women should be the pundits of it. I agree with what Farah's saying. No, not at this moment in time.
Oh, interesting.
Like it's not there yet.
I mean, I don't care. I actually don't care. I'm just asking.
It's not there yet. And I played football throughout school. Like literally at one stage wanted to be a footballer. It's not there. Like allow this to grow and have its time. Is why the girls were like, we stand with Ian as well. You want eyes on your game. You're not here training for nothing. Somebody to come and be like, oh, but I want to be the pundit. Allow it to.
Before she can walk.
It's just allow it to grow, and then we can start talking about representation. Who's in it? She already has you're building your reputation as well. You haven't been in it as long as him either. It's like sometimes it's that. And I understand when people try and be like, no, but I should be the face of because I am a part of it. It's like allow the market to actually grow and then you can slot in. Don't cut it before it grows. It's like black cinema or theatre and people are like, oh, it should be this type of thing that's done. And you kind of shut down black films growing from blaxploitation. You could be like, it wasn't quite what we wanted, but if you had allowed people's talents to grow, we may have had a thriving film community if you allowed it to take place. But people kind of shut things before, being like, it should be like this, it should be like that. Allow it to have its fruits and grow.
I think that argument about blaxploitation, we can take that for the Crouches, make it at the UK. The Crouches series where people were like, absolutely not, that's not how black families are represented. So then it was shut down. Then that's not to blame the reason why we don't have a lot of black shows in the UK today, but that's one of the reasons that they used, like, well, you're not going to let us do it, then it's just all these stereotypes get out there and then blah, 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 whatever. I think blaxploitation, that was the reason why it was shut down. But also, in that respect, there were lives at the time that blaxploitation was thriving, the industry was thriving, but also very negative stereotypes were having real world effects. I think you're right about Eni and letting the scene grow. I'm not in it, and that's why I'm very, very clear. I don't watch football. I don't watch sport punditry. I'm not a woman that wants to be in that space. So I don't know actually, though that could be, everything you guys are saying is right, like letting it breathe and letting the men with the voice and the icon status do the talking to push it further. There's an element where there are people that will watch women talk about it. And so if she's talking about, I just don't want to undermine what she's saying. I don't want to say that what she's saying is actually to be poo-pooed on, because she's in it and she's been in it and she's seeing it from a different perspective. So aside from mentioning Ian in the wrong way, she might be making a valid point, and there might be people that actually agree with her. I haven't done enough research into any of that world to know where she's coming from. I can do a lazy assumption that, women probably aren't respected in that space. So I don't want to totally shit on what she's saying, because she might have some insight.
I'm not shitting on what she's saying.